Hello everyone, this is HTJ Halloween, and today I am back with another exciting video because this is actually my first Spirit Halloween theme ideas video ever. So I've wanted to do a theme idea series for quite some time, really ever since starting the second season of Prop Ideas, which was a while ago. It's been a few months now, and I just never really had gotten around to it while I was doing Prop Ideas because Prop Ideas really dominated my time. They took a while to draw, and so I wasn't really thinking of themes, and I just didn't have time to sit down, think of some concepts, and put them on paper because these drawings do take a while to draw, so do the Prop Idea ones. But I know a lot of YouTubers have released their own concepts, ideas they think of, themes that Spirit Halloween hasn't done yet that they could do. I don't think I've really ever done a video like that, but I figured that I would just go ahead and start a theme idea. Well, I'm not making any promises that this is going to be a series, but I'll get to that later. But I figured I could start making some of my own theme idea videos, but do it in my style like I've been doing with my prop ideas and actually draw them out and draw what I think they could literally look like. And the reason I can't promise that this will become a series is because we are very, very close to the 2018 sneak peeks. Literally tomorrow, June 29th, a year ago on that date, Spirit Halloween released the teaser for Limb Ripper's return. So we could really receive our first sneak peek as soon as tomorrow. I'm not sure how confident I am that we are going to, though, because they already had the early release of Michael Myers. But either way, we are going to be seeing the first sneak peek within a few days. So I don't really think that this is going to become a series since I am kind of trying to talk about ideas for the 2018 season. Even though I could just say that these are up in the air, like ideas for any year, I am probably going to put in the title that this is a 2018 idea because that gets us thinking about the next upcoming year. And once we start really getting into the swing of all of the sneak peeks being released and then actually very soon, in a month, the themes themselves being released, I don't think that people are really going to be watching theme ideas because that's something that I should be doing earlier when we're thinking about what it could possibly be the next year. So basically what I'm saying is that once the sneak peeks and the hype for this next season starts to dominate the videos that I'm making, I don't think there's going to be a place for a bunch of theme idea videos. And even so, I don't have that many ideas. At most, I could make like 5 episodes. So I'm not going to be considering this a part of an entire series. As of now, I'm just going to say that this is a theme idea video that I'm throwing out there on its own. So a few of you may have already seen this photo on my Instagram, actually. I'm sorry if I kind of spoiled it for you guys, but I was really eager to get some feedback on it. I actually posted it as soon as I was done drawing it, and a lot of you guys seem to really like it. If you don't follow me on my Instagram, a link will be down below. I do post a lot of sneak peeks of my own content sometimes, and just some cool photos over there. You get a lot of awesome photos, especially when we get into me actually building my own haunted house. I post a lot of things that you will never see here on YouTube, so if you could follow me over there, that would be sweet. Like I said, link in the description. So this theme would be called Camp Spirit. It would basically be an abandoned cabin theme. I initially was drawing it as being not an abandoned cabin, but I realized that if it doesn't have all the broken parts on it and all the broken glass and the broken part of the roof, it doesn't look creepy enough. So it definitely would need to be abandoned, just kind of similar to how Spirit Hollow's bridge looks, where there's parts broken up on it, so it gives it that real creepy look. I actually thought that to really add to this abandoned look, they could use the same trees as used in the Spirit Hollow's bridge from 2017, but instead they could have them have no leaves on them, so the trees look dead and old and creepy out front. And that's just an idea. They could use the exact same trees that were used in the Spirit Hollow's bridge, but I thought if they really wanted to go for a cabin that was kind of dull and broken and abandoned looking, then it actually would be better to not have any of those bright greens brought in and have the trees look dead as well. And also on the platforms in the front, they could have just some, kind of dead plants. The plants, would be green, but they could also be looking pretty dry, and the coloration could be more of a brownish color on those, not really ferns, but just little bushes in the front, whatever they wanted to do with adding some foliage on the platforms. They did have the cattails that one year, which I really liked in the Swamp Tours theme, so they could do something similar to that. There wouldn't be cattails, though, because it's not a swamp, but just something like that where you have some plants. And also on those platforms, they could have like not the grass, but like the dead foliage and dead stuff on the bottom there. They had this on the bridge, and I believe possibly also on the clock tower, where they just had a bunch of like twig looking things and pine needles just kind of on the ground to make it have more of an outdoor look. And those platforms, of course, Spirit Halloween has been using for quite a while now in their themes to place animatronics. So they definitely would have two platforms out front, one on opposite sides of the entrance to the cabin, just a lot like the Spirit Hollows Bridge, where they could put one or two animatronics on each. So the really cool thing about this theme is that it would actually be walkthrough to the point of having props literally inside of it that you would have to see in their cubby holes inside of this cabin. So in order to execute this, they might need to use 2x4 planks like they did for the Spirit Hollows Bridge to hold it up and make it sturdy, because I think the real reason that they did use those, because that is a very expensive move to use actual wood, is because if it was just cardboard and someone goes into it, because, normally you're not actually inside of the themes, you're just looking at them from outside, so they don't need to be super sturdy. Since you're walking inside of it, someone could bump something, you don't want the whole thing to collapse. So I think it's very likely that they would have to execute this quite similarly to the bridge and actually use legitimate wood to make this thing more sturdy. Now, those parts on the top there, that could all be cardboard. If they want to make it look like there's a lot more beams up in the roof there, they could actually just have cardboard cutouts of those, as well as a cardboard theme, obviously, for a cardboard design, obviously, for the shingles on the roof, and then also the wall in the front, and the walls all the way around would be a cardboard design as well to make it look like it has logs. So that would all be 2D, fake cardboard design, whatever. But I think it's likely that there would be the 2x4s on the inside of the walls, just like the bridge, where they would have different portions that might be cut out and actually use legitimate wood as the beams that you see through the broken parts on the inside. Now, you have to keep in mind, though, that Spirit Halloween has to distribute these themes to, I believe, like 3,000 or more stores, so it can't be super expensive, and this might be a kind of unrealistic theme for them to legitimately execute as of now, because the bridge really didn't use all that much wood, because it was a very skinny, slender walkway that didn't have any animatronics in it or anything, so there wasn't that much that needed support. If this entire building needed wood to go around it, it's really unrealistic they would actually be able to fund that, because you have to think about every single 2x4 that they add to this theme is multiplied its cost by 3,000. So that's why this theme may be pretty unrealistic, but if they ever were to do it, it would be really awesome. And I think for the most part, you would just be able to walk through a little center aisle that would be a pretty similar width as the bridge, but it wouldn't have as much depth. There would actually probably just be two cubbyhole areas on each side. And when I say cubbyhole, I mean that there would be just like a cardboard divider, and there could either be a bed or no bed, just sort of a design behind it where a prop could be standing up. And just like they do a lot of times where they had the hotel, they also had the subway station where you could just have all these different, openings that could hold props. Those would be on the inside of this cabin, so you wouldn't be able to walk into those. You'd just be able to observe walking through the length of the cabin. So that would be a really awesome interactive experience. And as far as the sides and the back of the cabin go, I think that the sides wouldn't even really need to have anything. They could have some sort of area that a prop could go there, but I think that it could literally just be the log design with, just like we saw on the bridge, the big Spirit Halloween logo on it, and that would literally be it. It would be the same copy for both sides. Nothing necessarily needed, especially if the cabin was like I drew it, where it's a lot more wide and not as deep. If it wasn't that deep, then there wouldn't really be a need to have anything special on the sides. And for the back, I think that the back could basically be an exact copy of the front, except it might not need that little triangular thing on the roof that there is on the front, because that's more of an accent that you would see on the front of a building. So instead, the roof would just slope down entirely on the back. And they would also have the 2 platforms on the back as well. So they would have a lot of space for props. They would have 4 to maybe 6 cubby holes inside of the cabin, depending on the dimensions that they made it at. And also 4 different platforms on which they could put stuff. So like I said before, there definitely would be no need for anything on the sides because the sides would be especially small too compared to the front and back of the cabin. So that would be plenty of space, I think, to put the normal amount of props that they do in their themes today. So guys, that is it for the cabin, my first theme idea video ever. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. And like I said earlier, it's unlikely that I'm going to be doing another episode of theme ideas this year, but if I do get enough good feedback and this video does exceptionally well, then there is a chance that I might change my mind on that. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video. I have a pretty good feeling that I'm going to be seeing you next during the release of the first Spirit Halloween sneak peek, which is super exciting to say. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys soon.